Alrighty. This is a short video about an CB antenna that I made out of my gutter system. Apparently, I'm in an HOA, and you're not allowed to have great big 5/8 antennas or anything hanging off your roof. So I saw some people online had done a gutter antenna. So this is my gutter, and this home, it has an English basement. So it's 9-foot stories, so it's 99, so it's 18 plus another, I don't know, 5 or 6 for this English basement. So this is probably 24, 25 feet up to the top. So I ran a coax wire for my radio. And here it is. And it goes to a connector. There we go. Here's the connector. Yeah, so the wire wasn't, so I ran this wire to this small piece of RG5X or 8X. And the center lead is screwed to the gutter. The shield is attached to this, which is a grounding rod. A grounding terminal thing from like a, which you use in a circuit breaker box. That is attached to a grounding rod that I got from Menards. Both these are from Menards, actually. Grounding rod is about, 3 feet long, and it's in about 8 or 9 inches standing up. So the shield connects into the top part of this for the first screw, and then I made kind of a, hillbilly ground plane, I guess you'd call it, out of, this looks to be like, 6 gauge, 8 gauge solid copper wire. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of them attached. 1, 2, 5. So if you see, I have a ground plane that kind of goes out this way, and one that kind of goes out that way, and one that goes here, one that goes here, and then there's one that goes, that's kind of already covered up by a lot of stuff, but it kind of goes, the leaves are kind of covering it. If you take a look, since it's at the corner of the house, I couldn't do a ground plane all 360 degrees, but I had about 270 degrees to work with. That's why this one kind of goes out almost along the house, and this one kind of also goes to the side. And that's it. Yeah, so attach it there. This ground block is securely attached to my ground post in the ground, and each of these ground planes also hooks to that. When I first hooked it up, I had about a 1.5 to 1 SWR, 1.4, 1.5, something like that, which I was amazed for. I've actually had actual CB antennas store-bought that had shittier SWRs than that. I did have to shorten this wire up. This one right here, this is this cable is a complete 50-foot assembly I didn't want to mess with. So I bought a cable like this from it was like a 9-foot cable or something, and I cut off what I needed. And this originally was about 6 inches longer. I cut it down about 6 inches to get this, and now my SWR is about 1.2 to 1, 1.3 to 1, so it's a little better. And it works pretty good. There doesn't seem to be a lot of CB activity here. At first I thought it's because, well, my antenna sucks. I don't really hear anybody. So I threw a mobile CB in the car and put an antenna on top of the car. We go magnet mount. Drove around here and there every so often for a week or two and realized that there's just, here in Northern Illinois, not a lot of CBers apparently. So I couldn't really tell if it was working or not. Well, last night I finally, had something to do near the holidays. Turn on my radio, go to 37 lower side band, and I actually was talking to a guy in Maine off of my gutter antenna, off of a standard Royce 40 channel CB that has no extra channels, no peak, no linear, just completely barefoot. I talked to a guy in Maine, and he could hear me just fine. Now, obviously, this kit was working in my favor, but works pretty good. Now, clearly, this gutter is screwed together in its sections. It goes up. So obviously, I've got at least a 24-foot section of antenna here. Now, when it gets to the top gutter, I don't know if that is the downspout part is screwed to the part that comes out of the top gutter, which is riveted, so that's connected. But there's that little center piece. I don't know if that center piece is actually screwed in there or just resting in there. So I'm not too sure if there's actually, you know, a metal connection between this long part of the gutter and then the part that goes across the house. So it's at least a 24-foot antenna. If I add on the gutter goes across the house, in fact, my house is about 45 feet long. It's a 60-some foot antenna if it is actually connected there. And that's it. So if you want to try and get around your HOA, you know, no one really sees this. It kind of is behind the fence from the roadway there, kind of blends in. Once all these, there's a bunch of flowers here and a bunch of stuff. Once these are all in bloom, no one sees any of this stuff. And that's it. Hope you can make one and have it work for you just as well.